welcome to our concert tonight. On behalf of Mrs. Miller and Mrs. Schneider, we're excited to present our work for you. And just a couple of reminders to silence any sound devices, etc., etc. And this concert is being recorded, both audio, not these mics, but the other ones hanging up there, and a video recording. And what we do is generally, once that's ready, we make that available to your students in various ways, one of which is Google Classroom. I think we've been putting our concert on Lancaster Music on the Facebook page. So please be aware of that. And thank Mr. Callahan for all his work in putting that together, because that is quite a bit. All right. Without further ado, we are going to start. The general choir is going to sing Old American Folk Song for you. Before I forget anything, I want to say it now, so it might take me just a minute. All three choirs are on a trajectory. So I think one of these pieces we just did without music tonight. So we're crossing our fingers and working hard. But next Friday and Saturday we have events. One you might know about as parents and one you might not. On the 12th, on Friday, we are going to Platteville Middle School to perform in the concert festival or the large group festival, whatever you like to call it. I don't care. But we're performing there. The Da Capo choir that you will see next, the young men, they are going to perform at 5:45 at Platteville Middle School. And this group, Leggero, is performing at 7:15, if my memory serves me correctly. I thought I would check it and I didn't. And Presto is performing at 8:15 at Platteville Middle School. We have all of the performances. The Da Capo is going on a bus right after school. They're leaving at 3:45, heading down to Platteville, and all the trebles, Leggero and Presto, can go home after school, maybe get a snack, a bite to eat, get changed into their concert attire, and come back to school. The bus is leaving at 5:45, and it's going to come down. And when it gets down to Platteville, the other choir will be done, and they will get on the bus and come home. All right? That's the plan. Keep your fingers crossed. It should work out that way. It's a good event, and there will be 3 judges judging the choirs and giving them feedback. So that's kind of our goal. Also, on the day before that, on the 11th, Dan Krumfus is going to come. He is actually the composer of one of the Guy's pieces. I'll try to point that out to you later. And he lives up here by Spring Green. And we've known each other a long time, and I contacted him, and he's going to come down. He's going to listen to all these groups and coach them up a little bit before the festival. And they get the chance to meet somebody who's made a living as a music educator and as a composer, and it's a really cool history because Dan's father, Gordon, was also an arranger of music for young choirs, and our files are filled with Gordon Krumfus arrangements and Dan Krumfus arrangements, and so it's really exciting to have him come. So I think before I talk too long and they fall asleep or tip over, we better get on to the next piece. And this is from a railway carriage. I hope you pick up the little train image going on. We are on the carriage, looking out the window, and the world is passing by.
Never again.
I'm just trying to give time for those girls to find a seat. Come on in and find a seat, all right? Enjoy the rest of the concert. While they're doing that, the first piece is Gloria by Dan Krufus, and it's our piece that we needed to sing for the festival off a particular list of music. And it looked really fun, and it is really fun, but it wasn't really easy. And these guys have worked really hard, and they're pretty good Latin singers. I think they could all become Catholic someday. They don't know what I'm talking about. They're getting worried. So this piece, it's been a real challenge. So enjoy it because it sounds pretty good. And we're really proud and we're excited to show it to Mr. Krumkus when he comes next week. I just want to say something about this group, just separately. One, they have been invited, just recently, I invited them to sing in our chamber music recital on the 15th. I sent home a sheet yesterday for that, and if you didn't get it, I want it back tomorrow. I just want to know what to expect, whether they can actually have a group or not. And the sheet that I did send home said it was on the 16th, so please pardon my errors. We do have a performance on the 16th, but not these guys, and it's something totally separate, and I got them crossed up in my head. The music recital is on the 15th, and it should be in the program somewhere, I think. There was some dates and things somewhere. I did see them. And secondly, they've been working tremendously hard, and they even came in for 2 extra rehearsals in the last few days. Today was not their regular rehearsal day, but we rehearsed anyway. Their director picked some tough music for them, and I don't know if they'll ever forgive the person or not, but they've been working very hard to get their voices and their minds around this music. At one point in the second piece that they sing, this fairly meagerly sized group splits into 4 separate parts at once. So who would overlook that? That would be me. And lastly, before I shut up and we sing all 3 pieces, I just want to say that many of these students in all 3 groups and in the band have been a part of solo and ensemble. And if they were involved in solo and ensemble, they are eligible for a scholarship to a music camp in the summer. If you want to get rid of them for a few days, there's a little financial help with that. They can be a part of camp. I know Mrs. Miller is a part of the UW-Platteville band camp, but if they want to sing and they want to play band, there are oodles of camps out there where you can sing or play or do both. A lot of them happen in June, but there are others that happen in different times of the summer as well. So just some things to consider. If you want some information, send me an email or send your child to knock on my door and ask about it, and we'll try to get you set up with something so that you can have some peace and quiet. So that you have a great experience. All right. We will open with Jean-Paul Le Moulin. Listen to the wind. Our last piece is a little bit of activity in it, and we're still memorizing all the actions and things, so we're going to have some music holders and some clappers and tappers. And also, I just wanted to say that that last piece that we did, yesterday we sang it through from beginning to end for the first time. We've been working on all these chunks and we finally put it together. And I'm still sweating from this. We're getting it. We're getting it. It's going to be great next week. Come down to Platteville Middle School and hear these groups sing again. Thank you for being here. And after this group, we're going to reset the stage and the band is going to come on. Please stick around.
Reason why they didn't stay, and no one knows. Mrs. V, can we get the lights on that say like, I think they say like boot or like boom mic or something? It's a little bit more light on the percussion section. All right, are we all set? We're good?
Hello, and thank you so much for being here tonight. Cadet Band has been working on really hard and some very challenging music. Our first piece is called Colliding Visions. It has two very different melodies that don't sound like the same song. It has some clashing notes. It has moments where your ear asks, are they playing the right notes? And yes, they are.
This piece was written about students leaving a band room for the last time. It starts off sad, slow, clashing notes to show clashing emotions, and then it springs to life, remembering all the amazing times spent in the band room making music, making friends. And it ends with the students closing the door one last time, and silence falling on a room that was once filled with sound.
It's that time of year again. If you can help the Lancaster Music Boosters by making and donating a pie for the Lancaster Community Band Summer Concert Series, please check for future posts on the Lancaster Music Facebook page, or talk to a member for details. Music Boosters supports our program so much, and they can't do their part unless we do ours. Please consider donating a pie or four to this amazing organization. Nothing goes better with Mary Mixer's free ice cream than a piece of Music Booster pie.
Our last cadet song is Darkland's March. Our first run-through had very mixed reviews. 7th and 8th graders have been in love with this song since our first note. 6th graders have taken some convincing. This dark, edgy march will take you on a whirlwind ride through the mysterious forest and all the bravery it takes to go on such an adventure. Our cadet band members were reminded to sit with their families for air band.
Thank you for staying. Aeroband is gearing up to head to the Kalahari on Friday, May 26th, and we couldn't be more excited. During this trip, we will play for judges and have the opportunity to listen to other middle school bands. Of course, some water park time will be a reward for all our hard work. We'd like to thank Mrs. Fox, Miss Rolland, Mrs. Humke, and Mr. Drinkwater for volunteering to chaperone this busy trip. The Kalahari has announced it is now cashless, so please, be aware if your child wants a fancy dessert or souvenir. They have to have a card. See Mrs. Miller if you need help with the test.
Our first piece is Moscow 1941. Based on the famous Russian song, The Medal Woman, this work tells us the story of the Red Army successfully defending Moscow against the Nazi invasion in the Second World War. You can follow the story as we play. It opens with fear and rumors of an invading army. Will they come for us? Will we need to fight? Then the fear grows into anger and sadness. This is our home. We will defend it. As the fight begins, you will hear cannons and chaos, ending with the small army fighting off the attacking forces. You may see a little sweat when we're done. This piece is a marathon, but it's also our favorite. Please enjoy.
I don't think a band has ever opened with that song before. It's hard work to play it, and most of us are breathless at the end. But there's a reason it was our opener tonight. That's because, due to the recent events, Brian Balmages wrote a sequel. After Russia attacked Ukraine in 2022, Mr. Balmages took his well-known piece, Moscow 1941, and flipped it. In Kyiv 2022, he takes the hero melody from the first one and makes it the antagonist melody in this one. He blends a harsh, boomy sound of the Meadowlands melody and braids it with the Ukrainian national anthem. Angry and sweet, loud and calm, fear and peace. Please enjoy the sequel to our first piece, Kyiv 2022.
Should have brought a water bottle on stage. Okay. At this time, can I have my 8th graders on stage, please? This is my least favorite part of the night. All right, the year is 2021. We are back in school, but we are distanced and we are masked. And this 6th grade class cannot start band because of, thank you, because of the before mentioned circumstances. So we start in April of their 6th grade year. April. And I lose a year with these kids. So I'm really mad about losing. And they are the first faces that I get to see in my classroom in a year. And I drastically misjudged what the bottoms of their faces looked like. So that was fun. They'd be like, oh, I want to try clarinet. I'm like, okay, drop your mask. And I'm like, I filled you in differently. So they start in April, and we get like 4 or 5 lessons in before the school year is done. And then they come back as 7th graders in our distanced, in our distanced auditorium. And they have 5 notes under their belt. If I'm being generous, we have 5 notes under our belt. And I put them in marching band with my now, the freshmen that are now, who wanted to continue life as if it were normal, and these poor 7th graders with 3 notes under their fingers get thrown into marching band. And they stuck with it. They kept going. It was really hard. We played a really hard song last year, I'm sorry. And they stuck with it. And I am so thankful for the years that I've had with them. Can you quick show me who are my youngest children and my only children on stage right now? My youngest children and my only children. I'm saying goodbye to these families too. I've never had a band without a Murphy in it. This is going to be weird. 8th graders, thank you for sharing my room and for sticking with it, and for sharing when your heart is happy, and even more for sharing when your heart is sad. I'm thankful for everything that you've given my room and how far you've caught up in the missing of a year. You are leaders. You are kind. You are smart. You're mostly funny. And I will miss you in my room. I will miss seeing you every day. And I will miss the role models that you are. Please cross the cardboard and come and bug me for years to come, because you have been phenomenal. 8th graders, thank you so much. Give this beautiful class.
We actually have a few things to say to Mrs. Miller. Mrs. Miller, it's hard to believe that one person could impact so many lives, especially mine. You're an amazing person, and I believe that your imperfections are what make you so amazing. I remember the first time I walked into your classroom. I was nervous and unsure of what to expect. But as soon as you started talking, I knew that I was in the right place. I found comfort in your voice, and I would schedule extra lessons and spend hours upon hours in the band room just so I could feel the warmth and comfort it holds for a few more minutes at a time. Then it came over me that this is where I belong. From the moment I started band, you've been a role model, giving me someone to look up to. Being around you makes me happy. When 8th grade came around, I made sure I got a study hall or 2 into my schedule, just so I could come into the band room with my friends and we could talk about anything on our minds. I never realized how important one class could be to me. I never knew how amazing life could be until I met you. You truly are a one-of-a-kind band teacher. From making me laugh until I cry, to having deep, one-on-one conversations with me, you always have time to make me feel special. Your enthusiasm for teaching and your love for your students was immediately apparent, and it made me excited to find out what comes next in my middle school journey. One of the things that I admire most about you is your willingness to be open with your students. You don't try to pretend that you have everything figured out, and you're not afraid to share your struggles and challenges with us. You make us feel like it's okay to make mistakes and that it's important to keep trying, even when things don't go as planned. I also admire how you push all of us to be the best we can be. You don't let us give up easily, and you challenge us to think critically. You hold high expectations for all of us, and you assure us that we can reach them. Whenever I need a shoulder to cry on or a hand to hold, you're always there. When I have my doubts and question my work, you always know how to answer. You're always there to remind me that I'm capable of anything I put my mind to, and that I should never give up. Your smile is contagious, and it's clear that you care about each and every one of your students' successes. You create a safe environment in your classroom, and you make sure that every student feels seen and heard. You are an amazingly imperfect human being, and you show us that it's okay to be flawed and that we should embrace our imperfections. You teach us to be resilient and to never give up, even when things get tough. You're a shining example of what a great teacher should be. You're not only our geeky band teacher, but also a second home.
Mrs. Miller, thank you for not being perfect and showing us it's okay to be human. For being there when I need someone to talk to about anything, whether it's sad or happy. For taking Natalie, Marshall, and I in every day during study hall and sharing your candy and pistachios. There are some days that just aren't the best, but walking into the band room during second and fourth hour instantly makes my day better. I've never left during a room in a bad mood. You always know how to make people smile and show them how much they are truly loved. Some people might think it's weird that you have such a good relationship with your students, but I love it so much because you are so much more than just a teacher. Thank you so much for making those minimum wage bucks to teach us. Second hour for life. P.S. Pains if you're out of this world, just like E.T.
I'm not a perfect human, and I'm the first person to share that, as you've heard. Eighth graders, thank you for all your love, for all your time, for all your dedication. I will miss you more than words can say. Thank you, eighth graders.
Our last piece is not a typical end of the concert song. In fact, Mrs. Miller had this piece in a different order tonight, but the 8th graders thought it would be better at the end. Because this song makes our hearts break. Rippling watercolors is about the process of putting paint into paint.
One drop of water, one brush dip in the wrong color, and your picture is forever changed. Sometimes our life's colors don't always turn out the way we planned, but it's finding beauty in those happy accidents that make life worth living. These
pieces uses silence and sound to paint a picture with music. Thank you for letting us share this with you tonight.